Hola a todos, ¿cómo están? Bienvenidos a la esquina española. Yo soy Profe Tyner y hoy vamos a hablar de demonstrativos. Today we're going to talk about demonstratives in Spanish. So the way I remember demonstratives is that its root word is demonstrate, and these are adjectives or pronouns that are used to demonstrate some sort of noun. So if I am talking in English, our demonstratives are this, that, these, and those. So we're going to use my markers as examples. This and that, the difference is one is close to the speaker and one is far from the speaker. So we're bringing physical distance and physics into our language lesson today. So if I take out a marker and I am wanting to get your attention regarding the marker I have right here, I wouldn't necessarily say the marker, I would say this marker. And this signals to you that it's the one that's close to me. It's the one that I might have in my hand or is nearby me. Whereas if you have a marker over by you, I might say, hey, can you pass me that marker? It wouldn't make any sense for me to be talking about this one because it's already in my hand, and this means that something is close to me. But that means that something is far away from me. These and those are very similar, but they're the plural versions of this and that. You didn't know you were getting an English lesson today. So if I'm talking about two markers that are close to me, I would say, I have these markers in my hand. Can you pass me those markers that you have over by you? That's the difference. In Spanish, they have a very similar difference. So they have an equivalent of this, and they actually have two equivalents of that. They also have equivalents of these and two equivalents of those. So let's look at them. We can break these down into close, which is here, or aquí, in relation to the speaker. There, but kind of close, which is allí. So it's kind of sounding like aquí, but it's got this different allí in the middle. And then really far away, as in far away from both the speaker and the listener, would be allá. So allá is really far away, and I don't know, I think of like hiya when you put a lot of physical effort into something. So if I was going to throw something, I might say hiya, and that sounds like allá, and it's going way over there. Okay, so we have aquí, here by me, the speaker, or by whoever the speaker is. Allí, over by the listener, which is a little bit far from the speaker. And then allá, which is really far away from both the speaker and the listener. So that's going to correlate to this, that, and really far that. Or these, those, and really far those. And these have words in English that correspond directly with words in Spanish. So let's look at them. We can break this down, like I said, by aquí, allí, and allá. In other words, here, there, and really far over there. We can also break these words down into singular and plural, just like English does, the difference between this and these. So we have singular on the top and plural on the bottom. But since these are adjectives and pronouns, we know that Spanish throws one more layer in for us to understand, and that is gender. So if we're talking about an object that is masculine, that will have its own word. And if we're talking about an object that is feminine, that will have a different word, but just slightly. So the word for this is este, spelled E-S-T-E. That means this. And this is the masculine, singular way of talking about something that is near to you, to demonstrate that this is the one that you were talking about. If it's a feminine noun that you're talking about, then it would be esta. So that's also this. Este marcador es rosado. Esta pluma es negra. This marker is pink. This pen is black. And you can see that the difference is that the objects themselves are masculine in the case of the marker and feminine in the case of a pen. Now, what if they're plural? Well, kind of similar to the process you already know of making plurals in Spanish, you add s. But the este is going to change to estos to really hit home that these are masculine nouns. So, estos means these. And estas also means these. So I can say, estos marcadores son mis favoritos. And I don't have another pen by me, but I do have two plants and they are feminine. So, estas plantas son muy bonitas. Notice that these function as adjectives, but they actually come before the noun they modify because they're demonstrating a particular noun. So they're kind of like a more specific version of our articles, right? They're masculine or feminine, singular or plural, depending on the actual item that we're talking about, and they come before the noun. They can also be pronouns, meaning you don't have a noun after it. So I can say, pásame, please pass me, or favor de pasarme este. Or in reality, it would probably be ese. And that leads us into the next one. So if I'm talking to you and you have something near you that I want or that I want to highlight, I would use the word that in English. In Spanish, this is the one in the allí box, in the kind of close to the speaker, but definitely closer to the listener, far from the speaker. We have ese for that, and this is masculine and singular. Esa is the feminine version. So they both mean that. So like I said, if something's kind of close but not too close, a little far from me, but it's close to you, the listener, I could say, esa camisa es muy linda. That shirt is very cute that you're wearing. That makes sense, doesn't it? I wouldn't say this shirt is very cute that you're wearing. That would be silly. Ese is the masculine, so I could say, ese sombrero es muy bonito. That hat is very cool or beautiful as well. The plurals are just like the este. It goes to estos. The ese without the T goes to esos. And the esa goes to esas. So this is how we say those in Spanish. So if I was talking to a group of people and I wanted to say, those flowers that you brought are really lovely, I would say, esas flores son muy bonitas, or esas son muy bonitas. Those are really lovely. The last one we have is the group of words that correspond with the really far away stuff. Now in English we would still just say that and those, but Spanish actually has another set of words to designate or to show that what we're talking about is really far away from both the listener and the speaker. So this falls under our allá category, and these words are a little bit longer, and that's my trick to remember that these are a little bit farther from the listener and the speaker. So the masculine singular, if we're talking about one masculine object that's far away, that is aquel, and it's pronounced aquel, kind of like the name Raquel, but without the r, so it's aquel. And the feminine version is aquella. The masculine plural, so if I'm talking about two or more masculine objects or a group of objects with mixed genders, would be aquellos. And the feminine plural would be aquellas. So what patterns do you see when you look at these words? What I see is that the singular masculine will end in an E or end in a consonant, so they're not going to have the traditional O that we're used to looking for. The singular feminine, however, is exactly like a feminine adjective or pronoun that we are used to finding in Spanish. Esta, esa, aquella. The plurals correspond exactly with what we would expect in Spanish. Masculines end with OS and feminines end with AS. Otherwise, the forms are very related. Good. So an example with the ayas would be if I'm talking about a group of students over there and I want to say they are very intelligent. I would say, aquellos estudiantes son muy inteligentes. I could also say, aquella niña es muy amable. She's very kind. Y aquel niño es muy alto. He's very tall. So this is a pretty simple lesson. These words, when they're adjectives, when you're saying this marker or that girl or that shirt that you're wearing, and you actually have the noun directly after the word, they just go right in front of the noun and they must match the noun that they modify. When they are pronouns, you just say them without the nouns. It's a pretty simple thing in Spanish, and it actually is very similar to the pattern we have in English. They just have this additional category of things that are really far away from both the listener and the speaker. Okay, eso es todo. That's it for all today. I hope you learned a lot. Adios!